Hey guys, welcome to a brand new thrifting haul right here on Night Owl Video. Thank you so much for tuning in again. Welcome to all my new subscribers. I'm currently at 679, so welcome to everybody who has decided to join me on this physical media journey. Although this channel has gone through some changes. I generally started out as a movie review channel. Then I was doing thrifting hauls. Then I was doing a bunch of random stuff. Then my hangouts, and now I seem to be reverting a bit back to collection hauls. And I'm also this week for the first time hopefully going to get out a what's coming out on Tuesday, new release day. If you're new to collecting physical media, guys, Tuesdays is the new release day for DVDs, Blu-rays, and 4Ks, and I don't remember if that's the same for compact discs and vinyl, but in the world of home video, Tuesdays was always new release day, which when I worked in the video stores back in the old days, it was a pretty exciting day of the week. And nowadays, generally Fridays, they seem to have designated that as new release day for music-related DVDs, Blu-rays, 4Ks, etc. So it's been a couple of, it's been a week and a bit since I've been on here, and I've had some adventures. Last Sunday, a week ago yesterday, I went to a music festival in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia called Rock the Harbour, and I have some exciting things to show you from that. But before we get there, I'm going to show you some other things. If you like physical media, music, compact discs, movies, DVDs, Blu-rays, 4Ks, sometimes some collectible toys. Today I even got an article of clothing, which is weird for me, but yeah, a little bit of everything. But generally I focus on music and movies. So if you like that kind of stuff, consider subscribing. I try to do a video each week. And yeah, so let's get on with it. If you're new to my channel, well, it used to be called The Hangout. I don't know what the status is of that series now, but I always encourage you to get a nice warm beverage. Although the humidity right now is about 35. It's like 9 in the morning and it's already like 35-degree humidex, so it's not very nice. Waiting patiently for the cooler fall air to come, which could still be another month or two away, but we'll see. But anyway, let's get on with things on this physical media haul. And I have a lot of compact discs this time. I have all those compact discs to show you. So let's see. I'll save those for the end. So let's see. I'm going way back in time to last weekend. Yep. So I made a big trip to the city, Halifax/Dartmouth, for Rock the Harbour, and I got some cool stuff. One of my favorite stores is called Select Sounds. It's located in Bedford, Nova Scotia. And it's a very tiny little record store and movie store, but it's all organized very well, as I've said in previous videos. And I always seem to come out of there. I could come out of there with armloads of stuff, try to behave myself. But the first thing I got was a used compact disc. This one being from the year 2001, and the album originally released in 1981, 20 years before this special edition. And that is X Wild Gift, put out by Rhino Records, I believe. Slash Records / Rhino Records. And I've always loved the music of X, and I'm actively trying to collect some of their CDs. I have Los Angeles, and I believe I have one other one by them. But I've been looking for this one, and the one I really want is Under the Black Moon, or whatever it's called. I think it's from 82, 83. It's the one with Blue Spark on it. I love that album. I've listened to it a lot online, but I'd love to find a copy of it. These Rhino special editions are really nice because this has, where the original album had 13 tracks, this special edition has 20 tracks on it. I don't know if you can pause that and see what's on it, but yeah, the X are I think they're on their farewell tour right now. But XRAR was a very unique punk rock band from LA from the early 80s, late 70s, early 80s. And they they were cool to me because they kind of, as I've said before on my channel, they kind of combined a bit of rockabilly with a bit of punk rock, with a bit of like beatniky kind of esoteric lyrics, really interesting rhythm patterns. The guitar playing though is like straight out of like a 50s type rockabilly, but then it's got these weird angular riffs, kind of like Ramones. Really interesting band. Great vocals from John Doe and Exene Cervenka. What I liked about them is their voices paired well together, but there was just something slightly off about it. But for me, I don't know. It just spoke to me. So yeah, I've always loved X, and really happy to add this to the collection. This has some early live recordings, Back to the Bass, a rehearsal of the song Heater, the single mix of White Girl, all kinds of stuff on here. So really cool. And this album was originally produced by Ray Manzarek, who was, of course, the keyboardist for The Doors. So there was a little 60s, 80s crossover there. Let's see, what else did I get at, I'm trying to remember what else I got at, oh yeah, I forgot to bring that, did I? No, maybe it's here. As you guys know, oh well, you know, I was going to make a comment about this because I have been saying this to a lot of record shop owners and workers recently, that, you know, when you like a lot of different styles of music, unfortunately, you could always find something to buy, which maybe I'm the ideal record store customer, but I got a brand new copy of Yes Relayer. I believe this is from the year 1980, 1974. Oh, okay. For some reason, I thought this was a later one. This reissues from 2003, also from Rhino. And this is, I've only listened to this once on the headphones this past week, but it was really good. Roger Dean artwork there. Roger Dean being probably one of my favorite artists of all time. I really like his paintings. And he's always done a really nice job on the artwork for the albums and the packaging, and even down to like the logos for different bands. He's done a lot of different things. Another band I will get to in a moment. But yeah, just real cool. This is Relayer. This is like a 2003 reissue. There's the band there. So I will get to another band that's related to Yes that I've recently really gotten into. Some of you probably already know because I talked about them on my last thrifting haul, but great album. A lot more, I guess I don't know why I was thinking this was from the late 70s, early 80s, but I think it's from 1974. Yep. Recorded in England in late summer and autumn of 1974. And yeah, so I, for some reason, thought this was like a later Yes album, like into the early 80s. But then when I put it on, I was like surprised at how dense it was musically. So it does make sense that this is from the early 70s. So I really don't know this album much. This is probably only the second time I've heard it. I did have this on vinyl a couple of years ago when I made my dreaded down the vinyl path. I've since wizened up and gotten out of that. Thank goodness, because that reissue on CD was like, I think $17.99. The vinyl was probably like $49.99 or some crap like that. So go to hell with your vinyl. Sorry, no, I'm just kidding. If you love vinyl, hey, listen, I'm not going to judge you. Let's see, what else did I get? So I also got 2 CDs by the band Asia. One is called Aqua, and I think that's from 1992 on Eureka Records, which I noticed was a departure from their previous deal with Geffen. So this must have been after they fulfilled their contractual agreement with Geffen. Again, I had this one, I think, on vinyl. I got rid of it, and I have not re-listened to it since, but More amazing Roger, I believe that's Roger Dean. I should double check that. I believe it's more Roger Dean artwork. Let's just double check to make sure I'm not telling you a something that is not true. No. Oh, wait. No, wait. Hold on now. No, sleeve illustration by Rodney Matthews, 1991. Asia logo designed and painted by Roger Dean. And then the design was by a guy named Hugh Syme. So my mistake, it's not Roger Dean, but it's a little bit more science fiction-y than Roger Dean, but still incorporates some kind of like earth elements in it. The dolphin with the huge wings. Is that a dolphin with... It's like a dolphin crossed with a pterodactyl flying in front of some kind of spaceship. And then the other one I got is called Now and Then. And this is... There's 5 tracks from then, and there's 5 tracks from now. So I believe this is like a greatest hits up till that point, which was 1990 on David Geffen Records. Also, I've not listened to this yet. But I'll get to there is a DVD that's related to that shortly. So let's see what else I got. I only picked up one thing at Value Village in Halifax, and this was so weird, guys. I went to a Value Village in Dartmouth, and I found Jane Siberry, No Borders Here. What's really weird is there was a copy of this, and I got all excited because you never see this around. I opened the case up, saw the disc. It was all scratched to hell. So I was really sad, put it back. And then like 2 minutes later, like further down on another shelf, there was another copy of it. So this is from 1984. And this has her hit single, Mimi on the Beach, if you've never heard that song. Really excellent early 80s Canadian new wave. Sort of, well, just quirky music, I guess, in general. This was put out on Duke Street Records. And this, so it was really weird because I found this second copy and it was in good condition. So of course I bought it. But then I went to another Value Village later that day and there was like a bunch of Jane Siberry CDs. Like not as old as this one, like her later stuff. So anyway, really happy to add this one to the collection because it is, I listened to it in the car as well on my way back from Halifax and it's really good. I saw Jane Siberry twice around this time. I saw her at the Playhouse in Fredericton, New Brunswick in around 86 or 87. And I saw her at the French high school in Fredericton, New Brunswick. She played at a theater in the French high school, which would have been, I think, the year before 85, maybe. I still have a program from the concert, actually, and she was really great in concert. And the show at the Playhouse, I remember she had like a fake clothesline, I think, and all these really interesting props on stage. And I thought that was really cool as a 15 or 16-year-old kid to see somebody kind of put like a bit of a dramatic flair to their show. Because up to that point, I'd only seen like kind of more mainstream rock shows. So yeah, if you've never heard Jane Siberry, I highly recommend that early stuff. I'm not really familiar with her stuff after the 80s. She had another album. It had a song called One True Color. Maybe the album was called the same thing. That's also a really good album, which I would love to find that CD as well. But really happy to have that one in my collection. And like I said, I feel like kids nowadays would probably actually really groove to early Jane Siberry because it's a bit more quirky and angular guitar playing and song structures and a lot of funky early 80s synthesizers and again, like esoteric lyrics and things like that. But yeah, really happy to have that. Similarly, and then I went on to Renegade Records in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, which is another one of my favorites. And on the 80s Canadian new wave quirky music tip, I found a brand new copy of Skinny Puppy, Ain't It Dead Yet? And this is a live, what do they call it? A live performance Ain't It Dead Yet? And I don't know. This is a reissue from Network Records from, well, it says 1991. Yeah, so it's really weird because I'm not sure like what the status is on reissues of Skinny Puppy CDs. I never see them around. Unfortunately, when I was there the last time, they did have a copy of, I think it was either Rabies or Too Dark Park. I like those albums okay, but my preference is the 80s stuff. I think this was recorded in, I want to say this was recorded in the late 80s, like 88, 89, somewhere in there, and released in 91. But this is great. I also have the DVD of this concert, which is really cool. Skinny Puppy, I try to explain it to some other folks who have never heard them before. They're like, oh, what? In fact, why, it was just the other day I was talking to a person at a store that I work at, a music and video store, and they said, oh, what's your favorite concert of all time? And I said, well, it'd probably have to be Skinny Puppy, 1988 Vivisect 6 tour. And they were like, Skinny Puppy? So it's like you try to explain it to people. It's like, well, it was like really like theatrical, industrial, electronic, animal rights themed, like hard band to describe to people because very unique. But I guess they get lumped in with that industrial kind of rock thing or whatever. I don't know. I guess I would call them industrial, but more like electronic, because I always think of it industrial as like Zev or like Merzbow or that kind of stuff, and like electronic maybe more. I know they did some crossover with Ministry in the later 80s, and so they got lumped in with a lot of that stuff, but really just a unique cult Canadian electronic band. So if you are curious, go check them out. Good luck finding their music, though. Hard to find in shops. Then also from Renegade Records, I've got this album from 1973 from Charisma Records through Warner. This is Peter Gabriel, Steve Hackett, Anthony Banks, Michael Rutherford, and Phil Collins. You guessed it, Genesis Live. I don't know this album at all, but I found it for a good price. There's the track listing. This is the definitive edition remaster. I'm not sure what year this remaster's from, but yeah, I'm actively trying to complete my 70s Genesis catalog, if you will. That sounds so pretentious. Actively pursuing completing my Genesis 1970s audio output. But yeah, there's all of their albums, or most of their albums. The one I'm looking for is Trespass. And then I thought there was one before that too. So this says Trespass, A Lamb Lies Down on Broadway will be reissued in remastered editions summer 1994. So I guess this is a reissue from maybe the early 80s. But in very beautiful condition, and I have not listened to this yet, but in my stack of things to listen to. And then finally at Renegade Records, which was a really cool find, although a little, the cover's slightly damaged, but another one that I don't think has been, I don't know if this has been reissued by anybody, but this is the self-titled debut album by King Horse. And this is, as you can see, a former CKDU play copy that is the campus community radio station in Halifax, Nova Scotia, which I tried to get jobs at a few times and was unsuccessful. Guess they didn't like me. But this is, you can see, an album that was produced by the one and only Mr. Glenn Danzig from 1990. And this is a weird band. I forget where these guys are from, but this is, just try to see if it says, oh, they're from Louisville, Kentucky. And yeah, so this is a former play copy, but the disc was actually in really good condition. I guess nobody played it on the radio back in those days. Yeah, there's no scratches on it at all. And I can't tell you much about this band, but they're in a really weird. It's a really weird. I guess you'd call it metallic punk or punkish metal. It's really weird. It's not fast. Like it's got that kind of like groove, but it's like the guitars are very metallic sounding, and the lyrics are aggressive, and there's a lot of real angst in the vocals, and I don't know, like maybe that weird area between when Corrosion of Conformity went from being a hardcore band to a heavy metal hard rock band. But the artwork is by Pusshead. Beautiful artwork. Love that. And there's a picture of the band inside. So maybe like prong, like early prong, but still taking a bit of, pulling a bit of inspiration from hardcore punk, but not fast. It's like kind of slowed down, mid-tempo kind of hard rock, but it's still got that edge to it. I don't know. It really appeals to me. Like, not as spacey as like later Die Kreuzen, but kind of in that weird, like early Helmet, maybe noise rock, but not noisy. Yeah. Anyway, you can listen to this online if you're so inclined. But I remember my friend Carla really laughing because she was like, Glenn Danzig's name is bigger than the song titles. So I guess they were trying to really push it as like, hey, if you like Glenn Danzig, you might like King Horse. I mean, maybe there is a bit of like a little bit of bedfellows there between. The drummer's wearing a Bad Brains t-shirt, I just noticed. So kind of like that late 80s, early 90s kind of thing. And then my friends at Curated Sound here in the Valley, I think it's Curated Sound, there's a couple cool cats who run a stand at various vintage shows and thrift shows, and whenever I see they're going to be at a show, I'm going because they always have good stuff. Now, yesterday I got 3 good things, but none of it really stuff I was like actively looking for, but still excited to find. So this is, now I haven't checked my collection yet. I'm pretty sure I don't have this, but this is Iron Maiden's Seventh Son of a Seventh Son from 1988 from EMI Records. And I'm like 98% sure I don't have this in my collection yet. See, the problem is when I look at the song titles, I go, Can I Play with Madness? The Evil That Men Do, The Clairvoyant, like a lot of those songs, and I go like, well, I've definitely listened to that on my home stereo, but maybe it was on like the greatest hits or something. Anyway, hoping I don't have that. If not, I guess I will have to move it back along, but I'm pretty sure I don't have that one. I also don't have this one. My friend Tyler might be happy to see that I picked this up. This is Black Sabbath Technical Ecstasy. I always avoided this album because of the cover art, which I think is, it's kind of growing on me, but when I was younger, I thought this was incredibly cheesy. That's before I had a sort of appreciation for more like graphic art type stuff. Yeah, I just wasn't a big fan. I just wasn't a big fan of that artwork. But this is from what year is this? 1976. And yeah, I don't know anything about this this album at all, but I think my friend Tyler told me I should give some of the later 70s, early 80s Black Sabbath a chance. So I guess I'm kind of casually picking them up when I find them. But this does have Tony Iommi, Ozzy Osbourne, Geezer Butler, and Bill Ward. So I don't know what to expect from this, but I will check this out. It says, produced by the band, Technical Ecstasy stands out as one of Black Sabbath's most inventive and original studio outings. So, we'll see. Technical Ecstasy found the pioneering band exploring new studio technology on a selection of songs that showcased their increasingly sophisticated songwriting skills, which has got to be one of the most bland write-ups, but we'll see. We'll see. I like supporting those cats because they always have good stuff, and like the last time I went, I got like The Cramps, Bad Music for Bad People, and I usually find some really cool stuff from them, so added that. And then, as I mentioned to them, my guilty pleasure pickup is Europe, The Final Countdown. Yeah. This is from 1986. I remember when this came out. I mean, a lot of people kind of made fun of that song, The Final Countdown. I always kind of thought it was kind of badass, and anybody who's heard it knows that keyboard line. It says, they put right on the sticker, 80s classic. And I was just in the mood for it. I've been listening to a lot of like Asia and Sweet and Aerosmith and Van Halen. And I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to pop that into my stack of things to grab. And it was only $10. So beautiful mint condition. And yeah, listened to a bit of it in the car yesterday with my sister, and you know, it's just what it is. It's like the big anthematic sing-along 80s hard rock. Then, so last weekend, as I mentioned, I went to Rock the Harbor, and I got this was crazy. So my sister got me a ticket to see Lee Aaron in concert because she was playing at Rock the Harbor. I was a big fan of Lee Aaron in the 80s and early 90s. I kind of checked out when she started kind of doing jazz and stuff, but always just admired her for her voice and her singing and just her stage presence. She's just awesome. She is the metal queen. So she was opening for Nazareth, which is a band that I didn't super know. Obviously, after I saw them, I was like, oh, yeah, I know some other songs. But what was really cool is, and I'm going to block out my name because I don't like giving out personal information on my channel, but she did sign my CD. Well, the CDs were already signed, as you can see in purple, and then I got her to, because I got to meet her, and so I said, I already got your signed CD, but could you, sort of address it to me? And so she did, and I was just like, if I was more technically savvy with videos, I could drop a picture of me in here with her, but picked this CD up because it was, not only was it signed, but it's one I don't have in my collection. This is the best of. So this has Metal Queen, Lady of the Darkest Night, which she did sing at the show, which I was really happy to hear. Barely Holding On. Powerline, she did that live. What You Do to My Body. Some Girls Do. Just excellent. This is a compilation. It says 2016, but I thought this was maybe earlier than that, but I could be wrong. This might be a reissue or something. I'm not sure, but like I said, I didn't have this in my collection, so I did get her to sign it to me. She even gave me a little heart, and got my picture taken with her, chatted with her a few minutes. You know, I just told her the general stuff, you know. Huge fan, listening to music since I was a teenager. And then I also got this really cool t-shirt, which is the Metal Queen. It's got a newer font on it, but 1984 to 2024. So this must have been on her tour from 2 years ago. There's the back. And yeah, if you grew up in Canada in the early 80s like I did, and you liked heavy metal like I did, Lee Aaron was a staple on Much Music. And I've never really listened to any of her jazz music, but I gather that she went on to do some really good jazz music, and more recently she's kind of gone back to her hard rock roots. But me and my sister and my niece all got to meet her, and she was super chill, and it was just a fantastic night. And then I also picked up Nazareth Greatest Hits. I found this at a Value Village after the fact, but I like I said, I didn't realize that I knew some Nazareth songs. Of course, everyone knows the song "Love Hurts," but or I think they do. But I had also "Holy Roller" and "Hair of the Dog," and I'm trying to remember what else here. "Shanghai" and "Shanghai," "Razzmatazz," Razamanaz. This album's from 1975. This was originally released on vinyl, probably in cassette or 8-track back in those days. This is the CD reissue. I don't know what year it came out, but I've been rocking out to this in the car ever since, and I am now a confirmed Nazareth fan. They did apparently get a new singer 6 months ago, and but I didn't know that, obviously, so I just went and watched them. My sister was the one that said it's a different singer than from when I saw them 2 years ago. But yeah, I've been really rocking out to this, and I don't know why. I always thought Nazareth was quite cheesy. I just didn't really want to give them much of a try, but after seeing them live, I mean, they were really good. They did one kind of jammy thing with a guitar solo, which I thought was a bit too long. And my only complaint would be if I was able to talk to Nazareth, which of course I'm not, but if I was ever able to say anything to them, I would say, you guys sound wicked. The only thing I would recommend is add a second guitarist or a keyboardist. Probably preferably a keyboardist, just to fill out the sound a little bit, because when the guitarist went to do solos, it left... there was something just not quite full sounding there. Some people may argue that that's how it sounds on the album or something like that, but they were so good, but I was like, it felt a little thin sometimes. And I think the person on the sound booth mixed the bass drums too loud, so when there was double bass, like in the Razzmatazz song, it was almost like overpowering. But otherwise, they were really good. The new vocalist was really good. I think he's Italian, and he had said, I think this might have been his first show in Canada, but he was very excited to be in Canada. He said he went and had some fish for lunch in Halifax, and he loved Halifax, and so it was really cool. It was really cool, and I don't think my sister watches my channel, but I have to say, God bless you for making that night happen. And that was probably one of the best Christmas gifts I ever got, was a ticket to see Leanne, and I won't forget that anytime soon. Of course, getting to meet her really leveled up the night. Before I get into the movies, guys, thank you for hanging out if you're still here. 32 minutes in, listening to a pre-senior talk about 80s rock music, but I also picked up some toys recently, which I did not show off. I don't collect toys actively, but if I see something cool that I want, and it's a reasonable price, I will grab it. And every once in a while at Value Village, these weird things pop up. So I found this really nice little Ultraman figurine. Pretty cool. His legs aren't articulated. He's kind of rubbery. I don't think this is like an actual Sotheby, but maybe it is. It does appear to have Japanese writing on it. But he's really cool. I don't have any Ultraman toys in my collection, but I do like him as a character. And I can't say I've seen like all the Ultraman series. Of course, there's like dozens of them, but the ones I've watched, I've really enjoyed. Then I found this really cool thing. I didn't even know that McDonald's did this, but I found a Lord of the Rings McDonald's collectible figure. I believe this is the cave troll, maybe, or just a troll. He has articulated arms, so he can lift up his hammer and crush some hobbits. And his head also is articulated, so you can turn his head. So yeah, I didn't even know that McDonald's did these Lord of the Rings toys. So now I'm probably going to try to see if I can find a few more, because they are actually pretty nice little figurines. And then this, I don't know, I think this might be Playmobil, but I just grabbed it because it looked kind of, it's crazy looking. But I found this weird, hairy, kind of beastie thing. I don't know what this thing is. Look at the hair on it. And he does have a mouth that opens and closes. And his legs move and stuff like that. But I just thought he was kind of cool. He looks cool on my shelf in amongst all my other beasties. Like I said, I'm definitely not like a toy expert. I don't know that much about some of these other toys. I mean, if you ask me about original trilogy Star Wars figures, I could probably chat with you. But anything beyond that, I just kind of pick up like dragons, Lord of the Rings, anything kind of like D&D kind of looking. Yeah, just kind of cool. So those are the toys I found. And then lastly, I got some movies. I got one VHS and looks like one Blu-ray and 4 DVDs. So let's see. I'm trying to remember where I got these. Okay, so this one, as I mentioned a few weeks ago, I was actively looking for. Cliffhanger with Sylvester Stallone, directed by the one and only Rennie Harlin, master of action. And I found this really nice copy of Cliffhanger at Value Village. I wanted to watch this movie. I don't know why. I think I was kind of on a Stallone kick a couple weeks ago, but I had never seen this, and I had heard some good things about it. And this movie didn't disappoint, honestly. This had John Lithgow played the bad guy, which seems a bit strange for him, but he was actually pretty evil. This also had Michael Rooker in it, and of course Sylvester Stallone. This was a screenplay by Michael France and Sylvester Stallone. I believe this is from 1990. Oh, you guys will correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's 93, if I'm not mistaken. I had never seen this movie. I watched it on VHS. It was a bit, the tracking lines and stuff like that. If I can replace this on DVD or Blu-ray, I probably will. But I was really having a hankering to watch it, and it was pretty cool. I discovered on my 4K TV, if you try to watch VHS, you usually get this weird bend at the top of the screen where the tape is kind of like warped. But I discovered if you put it on, I think it automatically goes to 4:3 aspect ratio, but if you put it on a wide zoom, you can still get most of the picture, and it eliminates that that kind of weird line at the top. So probably not the best to watch VHS on a 4K TV, a widescreen 4K TV, but I did watch it, and I actually really enjoyed it. The opening scene was so crazy, like upsetting crazy. I was kind of like taken back a little bit, but yeah, cool movie. If you like Stallone, if you like action movies, if you like thrillers that involve mountain climbing, that'll probably fit the bill. What else did I get here? Oh yeah, Value Village. I also found this Elvis 68 Comeback on DVD. This is from RCA Home Entertainment. I'm trying to see what year it was from. Guys, when you get old, it's always good to have a magnifying glass so that you can see things. This is from 2006. And this also has a, well, it says 2006 edition of the TV special, re-edited and expanded. Video collection of fun moments from the shooting of the special and a photo gallery. So, yeah, my mom is a huge Elvis fan. So I grew up listening to Elvis in my house when I was a kid, whenever my parents put on music. And I just always had a fondness for Elvis. And this is one of my favorites of his. My mom actually has this on VHS. She doesn't have a VCR anymore, but... So I kind of picked it up with the intention of, I said to her, I found this at the store. I said, I figure one night we can pop it on and have a pizza party and a rock and rollin' party and listen to some Elvis. This is when he came back from the war, I believe, when he did his stint in the U.S. Army. He came back and he did his big comeback. And then, of course, he went to Vegas and died. But the 68 comeback's excellent. And actually quite funny. Then, let's see what else. So then at Select Sounds, going back to Select Sound in Bedford, I found this. This is called Asia Fantasia Live in Tokyo. And I believe this is from the year 2007. I think the concert was 2000. Yeah, no, the concert was 2007. Guys, I've watched a lot of music DVDs in my life. I've seen a lot of concert DVDs. This, honest to God, like I was floored by this. This was so good. This is Jeff Downes, Steve Howe, Carl Palmer, and John Wetton, the OG lineup. Here's the inside with some more, looks like artwork from Roger Dean, if I'm not mistaken. I don't want to make that mistake twice. But this DVD was so good. Asia is still going, but I think only with maybe Jeff Downes doing keyboards now. This was recorded at Shinjuku Kosenakin Hall in Tokyo, Japan, March 2007. So, yeah, what, 30 years next year. And so they're still going. They're probably never going to come to my neck of the woods, but this is probably as close as I'll get to getting to see the original lineup of Asia, and this is great. But there's a reason why this is great. Now, this is the 25th anniversary of their original debut album, Asia, which came out in '82. Which, of course, they do a lot of songs from that album. Wildest Dreams, One Step Closer, Heat of the Moment, Here Comes the Feeling, The Smiles Left Your Eyes, which I think was a B-side. But what's really cool about this DVD is they do some covers of other bands that these cats have been in. So they do Yes, Roundabout as a quartet. They did Fanfare for the Common Man, which is an Emerson, Lake and Palmer. They did In the Court of the Crimson King, which was King Crimson. So they did a bunch of different songs from different bands that they've been in, and it was fantastic. It was so good. And I know Asia gets some heat for being kind of a cheesy, kind of like Alan Parsons Project. You know, I had a weird memory of this because if any of you have seen the movie 40-Year-Old Virgin, you know that Steve Carell's character has a framed Asia poster in his living room, which one of the other characters makes fun of. But I'm getting older and I like progressive rock music, and this is kind of like when I don't want to listen to something too heady and complex, but I still want a little taste of that noodling. The band Asia always fits the bill. But honest to God, guys, even if you're not a huge Asia fan, this is an excellent capture of them from 2007 doing a multitude of their hits, and then, like I said, covers of other bands they've been in, and that will definitely be a rewatch for me. And then from Renegade Records, I also picked up another music DVD. I was disappointed to pay $15 for this because it's not in great condition, but I don't see this one around. This is Nightwish, End of an Era, which is a concert that I've watched on YouTube many times over, but never been able to find the DVD. And like I said, it's beat up. I think it's missing a slip sleeve, which is also a bit disappointing, but it is a 3-disc set. It has a DVD plus 2 audio CDs. Again, another band that's, I believe, still going, but with a newer singer. I believe the original singer, Tarja, I think her name was, she went on to do some solo work, but this is from Nuclear Blast Records from 2007 as well. So I got 2 music DVDs from the year 2007. So but yeah, this I'm trying to remember. Oh, Wishmaster, I really like that song. I'm trying to remember other songs that I know. Phantom of the Opera. Yeah, I can't say with any accuracy, but I assume the CDs are just the I think the CDs are just the audio versions of the concert. But yeah, I really like the singer Tarja, I think her name is. Like I said, the slip sleeve is missing, so there's no info on here, but yeah, she went on to do like some solo music because her and the band didn't kind of get along towards the end. But it's like, well, kind of like Europe. It's that kind of hard rock power metal with like some synthesizers. It's a bit mainstreamy sounding, but a bit metally. But her voice is just the thing that draws me in. It's so powerful. And I think she's quite a well-known singer in her country as like a operatic type singer. So yeah, if you like that kind of thing, it's like symphonic metal. I don't know what you want to call it, but yeah, kind of cool to find that one. I also found this red carpet double feature, which was put out by Lionsgate in the year 2006. This is a red carpet double feature of the movie Fear and the movie Parents. I have this movie on VHS, which is fine, but I kind of would like to rewatch it and probably sell my VHS, so I got this. I don't know this movie, Fear. This has Ali Sheedy in it, as well as Lauren Hutton and Michael O'Keefe. From the year 1990, something about tracking serial killers, so don't know anything about that. The only thing I am not totally excited about this is they are both in full screen, which is, you know, kind of lame, but never see this one around. I've definitely never seen this on digital. I've only seen, or I only have the VHS, and that's the only other time I've ever seen it. I'm sure it's been put out by Scream Factory or some boutique disc company, but yeah, kind of cool. I like Ali Sheedy, so I might check out this movie as well, Fear. That's not Fear with Mark Wahlberg. But yeah, the Parents movie is really weird. I bought that VHS a couple years ago, and I had not seen it since when it came out, like in the late 80s, I guess. It's a really weird movie. It's got Randy Quaid in it, of all people, and Mary Beth Hurt and Sandy Dennis. And it is a really weird movie, 1989. So yeah, kind of cool to find that one. And I watched the VHS a couple of years ago, and I could not believe how weird that movie was, but also how surreal it got. And so I was kind of touting that movie as quite an interesting watch. And yeah, I'm gonna rewatch it. And then the last thing I got, guys, this thrifting haul has gone on really long. I hope you've been enjoying it. But the last thing I got was, of course, a brand new Blu-ray, which I mentioned the last few weeks, which was coming out. And I got a copy of Backrooms on Blu-ray. This is a movie, a newer movie from the young filmmaker Kane Parsons, who made this as a series on YouTube called Backrooms, and I think he used some kind of rendering program to do it, and it was kind of a viral thing on YouTube and online. And then the studio, which was Elevation Pictures, I guess, went on to fund this big budget theatrical release of a film based on those shorts by Kane Parsons, and this became a kind of a runaway hit this year in the theaters, kind of neck and neck with Obsession, and I preferred this over Obsession, honestly. I thought this was a lot more interesting, and I rewatched it the other night, and honestly, I thought it actually was more creepy watching it this time. Maybe it's just because I was in a dark room with headphones, watching it all to myself, but yeah, really like this movie. In fact, the day after I watched it, I was like, I kind of weirdly feel like watching it again. I don't know if that's a little bit of my spectrum things going on, but I really like this movie. I really liked getting lost in the back rooms. I did watch some of the shorts on YouTube, and they're also really good. But this one, yeah, I thought I'm really excited to see where Kane Parsons goes next. And if you like kind of weird, atmospheric, liminal space, even just a bit of like Lynchian kind of like weirdness in there, this probably would be a movie for you. The Guardian said brilliant and genuinely disturbing. Slash Film says pulls you deeper into its maze-like hell. So yeah, this was really good. This was also, I believe, produced by, what's his name? I want to say, Osgood Perkins, who did like The Monkey and Longlegs. He was one of the producers, as well as Sean Levy. There's a James Wan was in here as a producer. So this cat had a bunch of bigger names, or more like more recent bigger names, supporting him to make this film. And yeah, it's just got great atmosphere. Even just talking about it is getting me all fired up to rewatch it. So guys, that was my thrifting haul for this week. Let me know if any of that stuff gets your muffins heated up. I don't know what that means. Let me know if any of that stuff is stuff that you like, or stuff that you are interested in picking up for your own collection, or maybe you already have it in your own collection. But like I said, meeting Lee Aaron was a huge deal to me. Like I said, I was a fan of hers ever since I was a little teenager, and or even a preteen at that matter, because here in Canada on Much Music they played her videos, and I was working in record stores when like Some Girls Do came out, so I still have a soft spot for some of that more hard rock stuff she did. And her husband plays drums in the band. I kind of wished I had gotten to meet him actually, because he was super cute and also a really good drummer. And yeah, I really liked watching him play drums. He's really good on the drums. And yeah, hopefully Lee Aaron will come back for Rock the Harbor again another year. But very excited to see her in concert, and also to get to meet her. Other highlights for me this week, of course, Backrooms, as I just mentioned, and that, oddly enough, that Asia Live DVD, which I feel like I'm going to rewatch. Trying to think if I saw anything on streaming this past week. I feel like I watched something. I can't remember, but I am going to do a shorter video, which will be new releases coming out this week on DVD, Blu-ray, and 4K. So if you're interested, you can check that out. And like I said in my last video, I might try to split these up so that the Hangout or the Thrifting hauls will be one video during the week, and the what's new on physical media will be a separate video, and that way I can kind of shorten them up. I keep saying that, but I keep running almost an hour long. But anyway, that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much. If you've made it to the end, God bless you. Thank you for watching. Consider giving me the thumbs up if you like this kind of content. Consider subscribing if you like this kind of content. I'm not on any I'm not on any social media anymore. I kind of gave that up a bit. But yeah, you can always comment below. Let me know your thoughts. Love hearing from you guys. Thank you for being cool. Continue to support physical media in any way you can. I've noticed, because there's been a lot of articles recently about people going back to physical media and ditching the streaming. So, you know, more competition for me at the thrift stores, but also makes me happy to see some younger folks. I saw a dude walking out the other day with like 15 VHS tapes, and that made me happy. I was like, well, I hope he didn't get any cool stuff that I was looking for, but also, I'm not that petty anymore. I used to be. I used to get really mad when people beat me to something cool, but now I'm just happy people are getting stuff. So yeah, so go out. If you're new to physical media collecting, though, make sure you do your research. VHS tapes, you want to look at the inside of the tape to make sure it's not gone moldy. Maybe I should do a video on this, but if you take the tape out of the case, and where the black is, that's the tape. If you see that there's white spots on it, that means it's got white mold on it, and that means you're going to be in for some headaches, potentially, unless you're willing to clean it, which is also a headache. DVDs, if you're going to thrift stores, you want to make sure to open up the case, take the disc, make sure that it's the right disc inside, because so many people turn their stuff into charity shops and thrift shops with the wrong disc in the wrong case. And then you want to flip the disc over, make sure there's no visible scratches on it. Fingerprints are okay. If you see someone's fingerprint on it, that's okay. You can wipe that off with a cloth or with a soft edge of your t-shirt if your shirt is just like a cotton shirt. But if you see scratches, If they're light scratches, you can probably get away with it, but if they're really nasty and scratched up, don't buy them, guys. A lot of these CDs will come along again, so just keep them on your wish list and keep hunting, because, and, you know, unless it's something really obscure, but then again, you run the risk of them not playing. So the other thing with VHS tapes that you can do, which I showed you last time, is there's a little button on the side. You can push that and you can lift the back flap up, and there you can see the actual tape. So if you open it up and you don't see the tape, that means the tape has come off the spool, and that will also be potentially a headache or a case where you can't play it. So just don't buy stuff that's all dinged up. The only exception I make for that is if it's something really rare. If it's got the white mold on it, like I found a copy of Critters 2 on VHS a couple months ago. I did grab it even though it had white mold on it, because I will eventually clean that, because those are ones you just don't see around very often anymore. So just a few tips if you're out hunting for stuff. And yeah, that's it. I've rambled on long enough. You know, take good care of yourselves, take good care of your family, take good care of your community. And until next time, if you're old school and you've been here for 4 years, you know the drill. Until next time, I will see you at the video store or at the thrift store or just out and about somewhere. But until next time, take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.